Hello, welcome to 4-H Live Online Learning. My name's Sarah Havens and I'm an MU Extension Field Specialist in Natural Resources. Today I'm going to talk to you about invasive species. But first let's start with the 4-H pledge. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living. For my club, my community, my country, and my world. Starting our walk in the woods, we see first garlic mustard. This is our particular invasive species of interest today. We're going to make a special treat with this invasive species at the end. Just past my garlic mustard is another invasive species, honeysuckle. There's two types of honeysuckle. So there's Japanese honeysuckle, which is an invasive species that was used in landscaping. We also have a native species of honeysuckle that can be found. If you look close at these, you can see that they take up a lot of space, which means that they're shading out our native plant species. Native plant species are so important because our other wildlife that relies on them does not eat the invasive species. It takes 6,500 caterpillars to feed one clutch of chickadees through one growing season. And those caterpillars need native species. I can make this garlic mustard into something edible for humans, so later I'm going to show you how to make this into garlic mustard pesto. While I'm collecting it, I want to make sure that I get the roots and the flowers. I'm going to place it in a plastic bag because I do not want any seeds to escape while I'm carrying this out of the woods. Walking further into the woods, I come across another invasive species. This is multiflora rose. This invasive species was introduced a long time ago as a living fence. However, it escaped into the forest where it overshades lots of our native species and prevents new trees from regenerating on the forest floor. It is also quite the nuisance for us as humans, as it can sometimes develop into really large, thorny plants that grow in the forest, making it hard for us to navigate the forest. It also provides very poor wildlife habitat as it is too low to the ground for most of our understory nesting species. The next species I come across as I walk in the woods is called Chinese privet. This is a shrub that has been planted in yards, has managed to escape into the forest. Here's one more example of multiflora rose that I came across on my walk through the woods. Again, further down the trail, here's another invasive species. This invasive species is winter creeper. It was a landscaping land cover that has escaped into the woods. One more invasive species along the way is one called burning bush. Again, this is another landscaping plant commonly planted in our yards. This one is sometimes hard to find in the summer because it looks much like the other greenery. However, come fall, if you have burning bush in your woods, it'll be very evident by its very bright red color in the understory, which is unlike most other shrubs that we would find native to Missouri. Many of our native species are ones that we've introduced through our landscaping. After looking at all these, here's my great 4-H'ers. These are my kids. They're helping us pull garlic mustard in preparation of us making our garlic mustard pesto, which is up next after this. This is a great time for you to also get out in the woods and work at pulling invasive species. Many of them come out of the ground very easy with our springtime moisture in the soil. Before we head in to make pesto, here's just one more vision of what garlic mustard looks like. Come with me as we go to the kitchen to make a treat. So now that we have gathered our garlic mustard, I've brought it in and I have washed it and pulled all the leaves off my garlic mustard. And we're going to use this to make garlic mustard pesto, which you can use just like regular pesto. It's pretty flavorful. I did par down my recipe, so I found this recipe online and I have cut it in half, which I would highly recommend just in case you don't like it. So we're going to start first by putting in So I have 1 cup of garlic mustard I'm putting into my food processor. And again, I washed this all really good and then I dried it with a salad spinner. In addition to that, I have 1/8 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. 1/8 of a cup of pine nuts, which is actually another tree product. You can also substitute walnuts in this recipe as well. If you can't get pine nuts, you can get walnuts. Then I am going to grind in just a little bit of black pepper. And a little bit of a pinch of salt. And then I am going to food process this. So now I have completely food processed all my garlic mustard leaves, mixed in with my pine nuts and my Parmesan cheese. And then I'm going to very slowly add in 1/8 of a cup of olive oil. And this will give that consistency we're used to in pesto. So I'm going to dump that in there. Then I'm going to food process, just again, let that mix in. And just like that, you have garlic mustard pesto. It tastes delicious and can be used just like regular pesto. So you can put this on pasta, you can put it on bread as kind of an Italian spread. And what's even better is you've eliminated an invasive species from a woodland near you. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing everybody's posts about getting rid of invasive species in their yards and in their forests.